Mathematicians, it might be smart if you get out any of the charts you've made as you've kept track of all of the geometry vocabulary in the past week. Mathematicians, I am so excited about today. We are going to use all of the skills that you have learned about triangles, quadrilaterals, and all of the other many terminology pieces that you have learned in this geometry unit. So be ready for some problem solving today. In this first picture, I want you to tell me one thing that is the same and one thing that is different about the words parallelogram and rectangle. Pause the video if you need to while you think. Mathematicians, did you come up with the same things I came up with? They have some things in common. They have four sides. Both rectangles and parallelograms have two sets of parallel lines. They also have opposite sides equal. However, they both don't have to have 90-degree angles. Only rectangles have to have 90-degree angles. Boys and girls, mathematicians, we are going to play a game today. You are welcome to use sidewalk chalk, take your Chromebook outside, do anything you want where you're drawing these shapes on the pavement, or you can do this in your house however you feel most engaged. Question number 1 is up first. Did you think of parallelogram and rhombus? Those are the two shapes that don't have to have 90-degree angles, and they have parallel sides. Did you choose these two shapes, the blue and the yellow one? Trapezoids are quadrilaterals that have one set of parallel sides, not two. So the red rectangle and the purple parallelogram are not trapezoids. Triangles that have one set of perpendicular sides have to be a right triangle because it has to meet at a 90-degree angle. Only an isosceles right triangle on the left and a scalene right triangle on the right meet those attributes. Also, quadrilaterals, only rectangles and squares have to have a pair of perpendicular lines. No other quadrilaterals have to have perpendicular lines. Mathematicians, I hope you picked the two shapes on the left. Those are parallelograms because they have two sets of parallel sides. The pentagon and the trapezoid on the right side are not parallelograms. I was trying to draw a trapezoid with only one right angle, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. Is it possible to only have one right angle in a trapezoid? Don't forget, you have to have only one set of parallel lines. If you figure it out, let me know. On the other hand, if you can figure out why there has to be two right angles, email Mrs. Moon and tell me why. Hopefully, this question did not stump you. The circle, the pentagon, and the weird looking upside down or sideways C did not work. They are not quadrilaterals. The rhombus, the rectangle, and the trapezoid are rectangles. Did you figure out I tricked you? Are you still trying to draw a triangle with all equal sides with a right angle? It's impossible. An equilateral triangle is the only triangle that can have all equal sides, and it's impossible to draw one with a right angle. In fact, they all have 60-degree angles. You will notice that the parallelogram, of course, goes on the side with two parallel sides, so does the square and the rectangle. However, on the right side has at least one right angle. Squares and rectangles have all right angles. The equilateral triangle doesn't go anywhere. I know what you're all thinking. This is a square. Well, it is. It is a square, but it's also a rectangle and a rhombus. It has identity issues, I think. Remember, a rectangle has to have opposite sides equal and 90-degree angles, but rhombuses just have to have all sides equal and parallel lines. Therefore, the square is a rhombus and a rectangle. Hopefully, you realize that the triangle and the trapezoid are not parallelograms. Parallelograms must have two pairs of parallel lines or sides. If you really named them all, you would have gotten all the things on the screen. They can have one obtuse angle. The trapezoid has two. Both trapezoids have two obtuse angles. The rhombus has two, the parallelogram has two, and of course the triangles only have one. I hope you've enjoyed the game today, mathematicians. I hope that you are learning to describe shapes based on their attributes. Don't forget to use the terms parallel, perpendicular, acute, obtuse, right, and all of the words we've talked about to describe shapes. You will be expected to use that vocabulary in fifth grade and later in life when you take geometry in high school.